Hello, my people. Welcome to this new session. We are gonna be resolving another lab. This is the listing the database contents on Oracle. Remember that the last laboratory was about an non-Oracle databases. Yeah. So this is just the same. We only have to log as an administrator user. Yeah. So we already have this laboratory open. And the first step is to check if this website is vulnerable to get into that with SQL injection. And look, we have an internal server error. So that means that we can get into this with SQL injection. The next further step is to turn on the proxy and let's train and then try to turn on the interception. You have to get prepared your environment. Let's try to go to any of the categories that we have here to get the intersection, and we have that this here. This well, the next step is to send it to the repeater. Once we are in the repeater, we can start playing with this. And remember the steps that we follow in the lab in the last labs. The first thing that we need to do is to check how many columns do we have in this part, okay? With an order by statement. Order by, let's check first with number one with one column. Okay, that is okay. We have one column. Let's check the second one. We have two columns. And let's see. Okay, we don't have three columns. So sorry. So we are gonna be working with two columns in this case, right? So now that we have two columns and that we know that we are gonna be using directly Oracle, remember how can we find the Oracle database a version? In this case, I have the code here. We can use that with an union select null, but in this case, like we are using an Oracle, let's try to see the documentation here. Look, we are gonna be using the banner from the version, right? So let's try to use this here. Remember that like we have here two columns, we have to use a union attack. Yeah. So let's do this union plus select plus we are gonna be using the banner. And remember, like we have two columns, you have to complement the other part with a null and like this. Okay, let's try to check if we find the version. That's right, we have the version here in the render. That is the Oracle database, right? Okay, this is perfect. So what is the next step that we have to do here? Is to check what are the name of the tables. Yeah, we don't have the name of the table, the name of the column where we can find the username or the password. Yeah, so we have to look for that by ourselves. So let's check in the documentation like we did with Postgres. So find the name of the oh well, let's try to better this table table in this part we can find this. Okay, so we are gonna be using a select table from all tables, so this is easier than the last one. So let's try to change this here. Remember that we only have two columns, table name from all tables. Let me make sure about this. From all tables. Okay, perfect. Let's try to run this. Let's see. Well, it's giving us an internal server error. So let's check. Okay, we are putting here a banner. So that is wrong. Let's try again. Oh well, perfect. We already got the name of the tables with a 200 code, and like we do it before, we are gonna be looking for users, something that is related to user. Okay, let's see. Look, we have a strange name for the user table, but we can work with this. So this is perfect. And the next various step is to find how we can find the username and the password. So to can find that, we can use or we can find or we can look for the name of the columns. In this case, we are gonna change this to column name. You are gonna be adding from all columns in this part, and additionally to that, we have to add a filter. The filter is the statement where, so we can look the columns name where the table name will be this equal to this one that we find here. That is the user J and those letters, right? Let's try to paste this here, the plus. Let's try to run this if we find the columns. Well, we are getting an internal error. So maybe, okay. So let's try to check here. I found some information here. Okay, look here. All tab columns. Okay, we are putting the wrong information. It's all tab columns, remember, not all columns. It's all tab columns in this case. Like this. Let's try to run that right now. Let's see. Okay, perfect. We got a 200 code again. That means that we get into the name of the column. And let's see. Okay, perfect. We have two columns here. That is the password and the username. So that's all what we need. And let's try to change this here in the column names. In this part, the username, and in this part, this. And we are gonna get all that information from this table, literally from this table, like this. So this will be the code. Let's try to run the query right now. Okay, perfect. We get a 200 code. That's mean that we found the username, that is administrator, and the most important thing, that is the password. So let's try to check if we can get into the website right now, into the account. So let's try to copy the password. Let's try to go here. Let's remember to turn off the proxy, and let's try to get into this administrator and the password. Okay, perfect. We already solved the lab. That's perfect. So remember, all the steps that we follow are the same. Check if the website have SQL vulnerabilities. Check the name of the well, check how many columns do we have. Check the name of the tables. Check the name of the columns, and you will get into this information. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Let's see you in next videos, I think. Bye bye.